Generally on Thursdays, we visit with people from the city of Bryan, and we are today. It's just kind of we're flip-flopping elected officials, and James Edge is here this morning from the Bryan Council. How are you today?
I'm great, Scott.
The mayor couldn't be here. We wanted to flip this because why was the meeting, the city council meeting, moved to Wednesday rather than being on Tuesday?
Well, the calendar this time of year is always a little bit in flux, and I know that the mayor is going to be out of town next week, I believe, for a conference on economic development over in the West Coast. And so in order to make that happen, we moved it up a little bit.
Gotcha. So but there were still some things, and most of it happened in executive session, and I know by law you really can't talk about specific things that happen, but I would like to kind of generally see what we can find out. One of the things you did discuss in the executive session had to do with the Kimball Feed building. It's really being repurposed into a different kind of a venue.
Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful venue. They're going to use it for a number of different things. They're looking for some retail options there in the bottom floor, but it's really going to it brings an element of modernity, if that's a word, to downtown, while also keeping that original downtown feel. I mean, it's going to look like the Kimball Feed building, but it's going to be an addition to an art gallery. It's going to have a lot of different areas where the public's going to have some great assets there downtown.
And that's just one of the properties that you discussed last night. You also talked about the grill and movie theater in Midtown, and that is far behind schedule, I would have to say.
Yeah, it is behind schedule, but currently they are in compliance. They are currently in compliance with the agreement. We're fully confident that ultimately, whatever issues there are going to be worked out. We're going to have a great asset there. I think moving forward, the park itself is moving forward at a great pace. We've gotten the TCEQ permits that we need finally to begin working on the lake, and that's going as we got the boardwalk that's currently under construction. We're looking at some water assets. Assets maybe is not the proper word. Water features. We're looking at a number of different areas where we can utilize that lake for the benefit of the public. And in addition to that, we're moving forward with a playground that is going to be. I would tell people it's going to be the nicest, largest playground for kids, probably within a 100-mile radius. And we're moving forward with that as well.
Generally, what is how is the city of Bryan attached financially to the grill and the movie theater itself?
Well, we did provide a bridge loan to the ownership, and that's really the only area where we have any financial interest as far as that goes. But we're we're protected in that sense. So as far as the rest of it goes, I mean, we've got an enormous building out there now. From the road, it looks like that's a big empty shell. If you get up close, you realize they've done a tremendous amount of work within the interior of the building. It's an enormous investment that they've already made. So I wouldn't say it's 90% finished, but it's really, really close. And so there is a large investment that is now on Bryan City property. And so we're moving forward. Like I say, I have every confidence that we're going to get this thing done. But
well, you say they're in compliance. When would they not be in compliance? When would they move out of compliance?
I'd have to check on that specifically. But there are certain benchmarks, and those benchmarks have not yet been. We have not gotten to that point. So I don't know if that's days, weeks, or months. But I know currently they are in compliance.
James Edge joined us this morning. A lot of stuff happening in executive session last night, also having to do with the bombers and where they are now. Now, at the same time, there are parties who have had interest in that property. So kind of give us a view as best you can as to what the options the city of Bryan has for what now is edible field.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to moving forward on this thing. Yes, we do have options. We've actually had a number of different entities that have reached out to us, some of them with very specific proposals. We're looking at all of those things. We're very happy to see the bombers move forward into their next chapter. We're going to continue to watch, support the bombers. But it was their organization that chose to end our relationship. So, we've got a great asset there. We're going to continue to try to utilize it, both for the citizens, but also we're going to try to look for additional sort of family fun entertainment that we can utilize that property for.
So the bombers went to the city of College Station and initiated discussions there. Do you feel like that relationship is in fact ended? It's just a matter of they end this season and they will not be playing in Bryan again next season?
Well, that remains to be seen as far as whether they'll be playing in Bryan next season. We don't have any choice but to continue. We have to protect our investment. So if we've got other folks that want to utilize that property in the meantime, we certainly have to look at that. They the ones, like I say, the Bombers. They came to us and ended our relationship. We have a partnership with them that goes through the end of this fiscal year, and we had not yet begun negotiations for 2026. While they evidently have worked out something with the City of College Station, and as far as 2026 goes, we do have a proposal from them, but we also have other proposals we're looking at. So,
finally, in the executive session, you talked about two areas, one in West Bryan and one in downtown Bryan, and you have to be, I don't know, kind of obtuse when it comes to this, and that is the opportunity for the city to give inducements to either have someone come in or have someone remain. And they could be two completely different situations, but what does the city look at now as to what their options are when it comes to offering people, businesses, reasons to stay or reasons to actually move into a portion of Bryan?
Well, there's a number of different things. Obviously, we look at potential tax revenue that we can generate. We look at whether or not that project might spur additional projects, whether that project, for instance, there was a facade grant project over on East 29th Street that we were looking at, and while it might not generate a large amount of tax revenue, is a relatively small amount of money that is going to, in an area that really needs a little bit of a facelift, it's going to really assist that area to begin that process and hopefully spur on some other property owners to move forward and kind of fix up their places as well.
Yeah.
So there's a number of different criteria that we look at, and obviously tax revenue is one of them.
Sure. Kind of a short meeting last night. Anything else go on?
No, one of the things I did want to, one of our citizens of Bryan, and actually someone that lives within my single-member district, Ron Schmidt, unfortunately, he passed away day before yesterday. I was somewhat surprised to hear that. Very, very sad. Ron was kind of a legend in the community. He was on every board you can ever imagine. He was one of the most charitable people that I've ever met. A personal friend of mine. I called him a sort of a compadre because he and I would have many, many chats about just about everything. He was a Jefferson Award winner. I believe he was a Chamber Citizen of the Year. Ron Schmidt was involved in everything, and our community is going to deeply miss him, and I'm going to personally miss him. So I just wanted to send out condolences to Vicky and his family.
Certainly. All right. Thanks for the time this morning.
Thank you.